Hi guys and welcome to the channel. Today we're talking about the top 10 Arnold Schwarzenegger films of all time. I'm going to try and keep this list as objective as possible. I have my list right here in front of me. I'd be interested to know, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe, but what are your top 10 Arnold Schwarzenegger films? And if not, what's your favourite Arnold Schwarzenegger film? So getting right into it, this is my least favourite Arnold Schwarzenegger film. And the reason I'm saying I'm being objective is because I put this in my list at all, because I really can't stand this film, is Conan the Barbarian. Conan was the film that really thrust Arnold Schwarzenegger from being a bodybuilder into being a Hollywood actor and getting that role that went on to be Terminator 1. So Conan comes in at strong number 10. I just don't like it. Do people like Conan? It's just a real hard watch for me. Not a fan. Coming in at number 9 is one of my favourite Arnold Schwarzenegger films, but I put it low because there are better Arnold films, and that is Eraser. Eraser, where he basically makes people disappear as a living, and what he has to do is get rid of these nuclear guns. Is that what they're called? Nuclear guns? And what they basically erase people. They basically shoot through walls. It's fucking badass. It sounds a little bit far-fetched. It is a bit far-fetched, but it is a brilliant watch. If you've not seen Eraser, you should go out now and get that. Number 8. Number 8 is a quality film set in a dystopian world, hosted around a game show whose host reminds me of Chris Tarrant. If you're not watching from the UK, Google Chris Tarrant. You'll see what I mean. It's Running Man. Number 8 is Running Man. Such a good film, very underrated, a great cast as well, and quite scarily real in the 21st century, in 2024, how that still could happen and how things like that, you know. Reality TV shows, Squid Games came 30 years later, but it's very similar. Coming in at strong number 7 is one of my favourite Arnie films, and that is Twins. Now, I will level with you at number 7 here. Danny DeVito, for me, steals the show. In most films Danny DeVito is in, he steals the show. But Arnold holds his own, and it's his first real look into comedy. And I think Arnold is brilliant at comedy. Not every film in this franchise is going to be action, so get off my case. Now, there are going to be some big things that I'm going to miss on this top 10 list. You can give me a thumbs down or a thumbs up. It doesn't really matter. I just want to know what your opinions are. Number 6. One of my personal favourites as well. They're all my favourites. I fucking love Arnie. There's not many except Conan 1 and 2 that I fucking despise. Coming in at number 6 is True Lies. Harry as a secret agent with the wonderful Jamie Lee Curtis, who's fucking hot in that film, by the way. If you've not seen it, you're missing out. It's the Harrier jump jet for me at the end, where she rescues him. She doesn't know that he's a secret agent, doesn't know that he's a spy. I love this film so much. It's such a good, easy watch. True Lies is number 6. Now, the top 5 is here. The top 5, there are going to be some contentious decisions in here. Apologies with me. If you want to switch off now, if you don't like my 10 to 6, then switch off now. But if you're with me still, number 5. I fucking love this film. Total Recall. Quaid, the original, not the Colin Farrell shit that came years later, although it's not a bad film, but Total Recall. Negatives about Total Recall, it's a little bit of a confusing watch compared to some of the other Arnie films, but there are triple-breasted women in the film, so pros and cons. I'll always remember watching with my brother at a far too young age, Open Your Mind, with a little alien shit coming out of the chest. Revolting. But a great film, and who could forget the iconic scene where he goes out in the atmosphere and his eyes are bulging out his skull. Just a brilliant watch. But it comes at a strong number 5. Number 4, I debate number 3 and 4 a lot here, and some people are going to disagree, but number 4 is Commando. I think of my personal choice, if this was just subjective, that would be at number 2 for me, but Commando is a great, just a badass action film. His daughter's kidnapped. Got a great bad guy in Benny. It's such a good film. You know, the iconic scene where he's walking with a log at the start of the film. You're just like, that's who I want to be. I remember being 10 and annoying the shit out of my mum, and she basically said, go and put Arnold Schwarzenegger on. And on the front cover was a guy in plimsolls, and I thought, this guy's not going to be cool. And then you see him walk through, chopping the wood, and just a fucking man. But a great film, a great plot. And I love Commando. I think it is one of his best films. It's just pure action, isn't it? It's basically where him and Sylvester Stallone have a massive cock-off in the 80s, early 90s, where they're just like action film versus action film. Love it. Commando. So the top 3, I'm sure you can guess some of the films in my top 3. Coming in at number 3, Matrix has already been and gone. Quaid has already been and gone. But there's only one. It's a different film franchise. It's Terminator 1. The original Terminator. Arnold Schwarzenegger as the bad guy, just a fucking badass. I did another video about the Terminator franchise. If you've seen that already, spoiler alert, you know what's coming. But Terminator 1 is a fantastic film. Not much dialogue from Arnie in that film, but it's just action after action. At the start, give me your clothes, bang, takes his heart out of his chest. The Terminator was such an iconic film, one of Arnold's best. At number 2, I would drum roll, but the camera might fall over and tip over. At number 2 comes Predator. Dutch, Predator, get to the chopper. It was really fucking bad, wasn't it? So many iconic lines from that film. Just it's a scary film. I remember watching that one and thinking, actually, I think Predator is an action film, but you know, you could class it as a horror film in there. Where as a kid, maybe not so much now, but it was fucking frightening, that original Predator, and the way it was filmed. Great film, great action, loads of 80s nostalgia in that film as well. Beautiful film, get to the chopper, some classic lines, but it's just number 2, and it's pipped to the post by the one and only number 1, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, 1991. James Cameron and Arnie go at it again. The fucking transformation from Arnold from bad guy to good guy. The plot of the film is even better than the first plot. Linda Hamilton's a complete fucking flip of character as well. She goes from this weak fucking intimidating person in number 1 and becomes this fucking badass that's locked up and, you know, beats his shit out of guard. Robert Patrick absolutely smashes that film as well. So for me, Terminator 2 is immense. So guys, that is my top 10, and I get excited talking about it. That's why I'm talking so fast, because I fucking love Arnold Schwarzenegger films. I love action films in general. I love films in general. So if you like any of that thing, subscribe to this channel. I appreciate your feedback. These are only some of my first videos, so I'm still learning my craft. I appreciate all the support that you've given me so far. And yeah, Terminator 2, as somebody else said in one of my other videos, Terminator 2 is probably one of the greatest films of all time. And I would absolutely agree with that 100%. Thanks for watching.